Hi everyone, Deb's here from Chaos in Kenton bringing us together. Just wanted to have a really quick chat with you about what I call my send line. It's a little bit like circle line, it's a little bit like any of the other lines that you have to get on, but it belongs to us and it's one that we want to get off. But I just wanted to have a chat with you, so here we go. That is the send line. Now, it is shaped like a wine bottle for a very, very good reason. But let's just talk about it. To start off with, at the top, we've got the nice things. We want to feel joy and confidence, relaxed, accepting. And we also want to talk about being calm, kind, having courage. But down at the bottom, we hit fear, and we hit detached, and we hit despair, exhausted, pretty much where I am today, I have to say. And shame, withdrawn, anger, disgust. Now, all of us will want to be up at the top. We want to be amused, confident, relaxed, and in acceptance. What we don't want is to feel exhausted, withdrawn. We don't want to feel shame, but it's so easy to be there. And when you're a parent of a child with special needs, what you'll find very often is that you spend most of your time down here. And we don't want to be down here. And to get from here to here takes a lot of effort. To get from here to here can take a moment, and it's done so quickly. And what happens as well is when we're on this line, we very often end up hitting self-pity. And self-pity is where people want us to be. It's where they expect us to be. And it's where they can cope with us. It's where they know what they're doing. Oh, you feel sorry for yourself, thank God, because now I know what to do. Because if I was in your shoes, I don't know how you do it, blah, 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 you would feel self-pity. So when you hit self-pity, it's really difficult. If you imagine the whole thing is like a pirate ship at the fun fair, and it swings and it swings, and you hit and you keep coming back and you keep coming back, and you need the motivation and the momentum to get right back up at the top. And I always think one of the roles of all practitioners is to be the person here pushing and giving you that support and not letting you fall right back into fear, because fear is the one place we really don't want to be. But as they push you and you're hitting self-pity, because other people are pushing you back, because that's where they want. It's not so much they want us to be there, it's where they know how to cope with us. So they push us back. And so today I want to talk about how do we go from the bottom and get back up to the top? How do we become resilient? How do we learn how to bounce back easier? So we're going to talk a little bit about resilience. We're going to talk about looking after yourself. But what I want to talk about as well is what works for you. How do you go from the bottom to the top? And also remembering that when you meet a practitioner for the first time, or as a practitioner you're meeting a family, you might meet someone who's up here because they've had a good day. They might have even had, rumour has it, it happens sometimes, a good night's sleep. And so you meet them and it's like, wow, these are really nice people. They really got it. But you've met them on a good day. If the first day you meet them, they're down here, it's a very different set of cards that you hand them. You sort of think, oh no, this family needs all the help they can get, they're not coping. And actually that very morning they could have been here, but they've just been told they don't meet the criteria for a service, or maybe they've been told personal budgets don't exist in their local authority. It's called me cynical. I've heard rumours that happens. So it's about how do we get back from the bottom? And most of us will recognise the bottom. And when you're meeting a family, and if they are there, and sometimes when they're in that position, especially if they're stressed or if there's fear, then that becomes very often anger. And that might be aimed at you. And it's not aimed at you, it's personally, it's aimed at the system that you represent that may be failing that family. And what you can do, and we do know happens, is they will walk back to their office and they will tell somebody, oh my God, that mother, oh my God, you really don't want to deal with her. I think one of the nicest things I've been called is a Rottweiler. I've been called a lot worse and sometimes to my face. So how do we go And when you meet a family and then you're telling other people that this is a Rottweiler, and then a new member of staff goes along and meets them and they're up here and they think, oh, hang on, I've come in ready for an argument, I've come in ready for a battle. So it's talking about the fact that we're always going to be on there. And then what we also have within this send line are these little, a couple of them, not many, just a few little places, a few little stations that allow us access to mainstream services. And when you get into a mainstream service, it's fab. But how do you go and, as a practitioner, you're working with a family who can't get off? There's very few places they can get off to go and access what they need. So how do you, as a practitioner, help that family? Because you can jump off at any station. And also remember, as a practitioner, when you're meeting these families, the mother might be up here because she's having a good day, but the dad might be down here, or the siblings might be over here, and the child or the young person you're working with may be totally over here. And remembering that the dynamics of every family change constantly. So when you're dealing and sorting and working with a family, or as a mum, when you're in a really bad place, it's remembering that you can get out of that station, you can make a move. There are going to be huge hurdles ahead, because indignation, self-pity and sorrow are really hard stations to get out of. And so think about how you're going to make that and change that, and how your goal is to be up here, and what are the barriers, how are you going to overcome the barriers. We're going to do weekly chats in the next couple of months to talk about resilience, but I just wanted to introduce you to the send line. Bye.